Even though that these storms may have relaxed for just a little bit, may not have been anything apparent, I don't think we're out of the woods as far as this whole area of rotating wind causing the possibility of tornadoes here tonight.
That's right, and I want to show you the area that is included in the tornado warning. This goes from central Dallas County, just west of Princeton, all the way up into the southeast side of Hot Spring County, and this is the southwest corner of Grant County. It does not include Prattsville, though if I'm in Prattsville, I'd probably want to pay attention to the storm. It does not include Sheridan, but the whole line, of course, is making its way up that direction. So that is who is in the tornado warning: Leola, Princeton, Willow. Of course, we've got a couple other communities here along the line. The area of rotation is very impressive, and what we're looking at right here is between County Road 301 and County Road 305, and this is going to be traveling basically up and towards the west of Highway 9. Going street by street, this is about to approach, and that's going to be County Road 302, and moving due north just over the next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll see it cross into Grant County. I'll put it in motion so you can actually see what's happening. Very tight couplet there, so it's definitely a circulation that looks a lot more impressive than the circulations we were tracking just about 45 minutes ago. This one definitely has the potential to produce a tornado as it approaches Willow and maybe the intersection of Arkansas Highway 9 and Arkansas Highway 46. Do these circulations always produce tornadoes? No, they don't, but this one certainly is impressive enough that I think it could here very shortly. As we look at the reflectivity part of this, which shows you where the rain is, this circulation is embedded right in the middle of the rain. So earlier we saw a couple of pictures and videos of tornadoes from south central and southwest Arkansas. That's basically done. This is embedded in rain. You're not going to see it. It's very, very heavy rain just completely surrounding the tornado there. And so as this moves towards the north, under cover of night, it's the worst type of tornado is the one you can't see as it moves towards the north. All right, this is north of Arkansas Highway 8, and again, we're going to be approaching really between Willow and Leola, those two locations. Make sure you are getting into your tornado safe place. This is the area of rotation that we're closely watching. As I'm looking at a couple of different products off screen, we'll be looking for a debris signature. And Barry, the tornado that hit Sparkman earlier did not have a debris signature, had a signature that looked very similar to this one, and there was a tornado that was down there. So in theory, you could have a tornado and yet the radar not confirm it. So we want to take this very seriously. We're in central Dallas County. This is going to go towards the west of Carthage, heading up towards Willow and Leola, really between those two communities, and it's going to go right up Highway 9. At some point, we'll cross over Highway 9 right about where we have Arkansas Highway 46. Barry, pretty much as long as Beryl is in Arkansas, we're going to see areas along this line begin to rotate, probably pulse up to the point where a tornado warning becomes necessary because it looks like a tornado could be produced at any minute.
Yeah, any shower that grows vertically at all, it seems like, has that potential for rotation. And I just want to point out a couple of things. Pretty obvious rotation right there in northern Dallas County. We're watching kind of a broad area in Clark County. We're watching two spots down to the south of Little Rock right now that are, it looks like to me, just in the beginning stages of trying to rotate a little bit. Nothing there at all right now, but as I said, if you get any shower or any storm, it shows up a little bit better, I believe, on our storm scan. Can we go to storm scan, guys? And I'll go back to the storm in Dallas County. But this is an area where anything that grows, as I said, a shower that becomes a little bit heavier. Yeah, two spots right there down to the south of Little Rock. We're going to have to watch those areas. Anything that goes up rotates tonight. This is obviously the stronger one, and we're going to watch up to the north of Arkadelphia. But anywhere where these are kind of a little bit even out by themselves, you're going to see rotation within these as well. So let's zoom back in here. And Princeton, small town of Manning and Princeton, and then that area of rotation right there. And where they meet Got a broad area of rotation being pulled in. We don't know that there's a tornado on the ground, but it certainly seems like it's possible with this. It is dark. It's pouring rain. It's embedded within the circulation and within the cloud cover, and you're not going to see this at all. But it will be moving on up to the north as it heads up to about where Hot Spring and Grant County come together out of northern Dallas County. Might be just a little bit west of there, moving back into Hot Spring County, but that is the area that we're watching more closely. And then we'll watch these other indentations out to the west. That's just a large circulation right there. And then the small circulations, as I said, up toward the Little Rock area. Nothing warned on that at all right now. It's just very weak. But these things have rotation, and sometimes they pulse up and pulse back down very quickly. And so we're going to continue to just warn you every time we see a little bit of rotation. And we do. And that's the one in northern Dallas County right there. A lot of wind coming toward the radar site, wind going away from. We see the bright colors coming together. That is an area where there could be that circulation, and we could have a brief but significant tornado moving through. These are generally not the ones that we see in the springtime. Large, long track tornadoes. They are much more brief, but we think that we've had one, perhaps, we saw a picture of one in the Sparkman area, and we've seen power lines and trees down in East Camden, and so we think that is a definite possibility tonight there, earlier tonight. So Sparkman, East Camden, and then this area right here that we're watching right now in the northern part of Dallas County, moving up toward Lono eventually, and then on up. And yeah, Malvern, you're saying, didn't we just have a storm pass by? Yeah, but these storms will form again, and it's not like this is going to cool the atmosphere, these storms. We're in a tropical, kind of a tropical setting tonight, so it's not where once you have a round of rain, you're done. Because you can have other storms form in these spiral bands and go through roughly the same areas. We're going to watch all along this spiral band. There it is right there. And then these kind of renegade showers and thunderstorms out in advance of it, a few of which are moving into the Little Rock area with heavy, heavy rainfall. There is going to be a flash flood warning, I believe, coming out. It may have already been issued, and there it is right there. And I'll zoom in just a little bit more closely. But within that area, from Hot Springs all the way down to Malvern, Arkadelphia, and Sparkman, that green outline right there. I know there are a lot of colors there, but that is a flash flood warning that's in effect because of all of this rain that has moved up through. And look at that broad area of rain moving right up toward Hot Springs tonight. And so flooding, I think, could be a real possibility. Already some minor flooding in Hot Springs from earlier rains, and I think it could be a real issue, especially in those low water areas tonight. So, James, we continue to watch not only that, but the tornado-warned storm, which is in northern Dallas County right now and moving up to the north.
Yeah, there's the one in Dallas County. I think we also have to keep a close eye on the one that's in the central section of Hot Spring County, kind of a push of wind going in there, and so there is some rotation right there to keep our eye on. Of course, the most impressive rotation is right here in Dallas County, and Lono sits right there at the intersection of Highway 9 and Highway 222, this moving directly in that direction between Willow and Leola. Just get to your tornado-safe place. Barry said it. It's dark outside. We're getting lots of rain. These are just absolutely impossible to see. The rotation spun up very quickly as we went into the northern sections of Dallas County. And while it is not as strong as it was a scan or two ago, a very impressive radar scan, still, I think we could have had a tornado just a few moments ago based on the types of radar scans that we are seeing today and what has produced some damage in East Camden and a tornado in Sparkman. We very well could have had, at least within the last few minutes, a possible tornado in Dallas County. I do want to take a look at the metro area. Yeah, we're getting, looks like a little bit of rotation now developing with the stuff that's closer to Little Rock, Barry, and unfortunately...
Near Wrightsville, just to the northwest of there.
It's pretty unfortunate that this is kind of not embedded in rain. It looks a little bit more classic, especially there's a couple of circulations, actually. There's one near East End, and there's one near Wrightsville as well. And so the Weather Service is discussing the possibility of issuing a tornado warning for what's going on up here as well. So, you know, we had a little bit of a lull, a chance to catch our breath, and now things are really beginning to heat up again. So we've got just kind of big picture, what's going on. We've got this big line that's associated with the tropical storm that's advancing north. We've had wind embedded in this. We've had possible tornadoes embedded in this. And then in advance of that, we just have random showers that pop up. And as they pop up, they do show signs of rotation. And the stuff that's developed in the Little Rock area here over the last, really 20 to 30 minutes, it's now beginning to get to a point where it can rotate a little bit more. So we'll take a look again at the stuff that's going on in Little Rock. Again, it's moving. All this is moving off towards the northwest. Two areas of rotation there, one on the Pulaski County side, one on the Saline County side, and then a pretty impressive area of rotation there coming through Dallas County, Barry. And as of right now, I don't see a debris signature with that, but we don't have to have it tonight. I think a lot of the tornadoes we have had do not have debris signatures.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to our storm scan, and I will show you just some areas of rotation that we're looking at. I'm going to go out here. James mentioned the one north of Arkadelphia, just some wind moving up. It's in a very broad area right there, but we're going to watch that kind of that corner up into Hot Spring County. The one that is a big wind producer right now, and there is a lot of wind going away too. And I'm a little more worried, I think, about this northern Dallas County one now. I don't know that it's producing a tornado. Let's just assume that it is as it moves this area where those are coming together right there, entering far southeastern Hot Spring County out of northern Dallas County. If you're in Willow, Lono, you need to go to that safe spot in your house, most interior spot, lowest floor of your house. And I'm gonna tour also the two areas that we're looking at, one to the south of East End and one coming up into Arch Street, Pike area of southwest Little Rock. Right now, the Weather Service is just looking at it. They said it's not like we're imminently going to issue a tornado warning with it, but I don't think it's out of the question. So those of us who are in Little Rock right here, as this moves off to the north-northwest, let's just be wary that there is yet another shower/storm. It's not that strong, but it could be a rotating. It could rotate and produce a tornado. There's the last one. There's just an area of rotation that is indicated along with that. We're going to continue to watch it. Just be aware of that. We're not going to leave you guessing about this. We're watching all of these storms, as is the National Weather Service, doing a fantastic job tonight in an area that is just a mass of rainfall. Just a lot happening in the atmosphere tonight, including flooding rainfall. But that little notch right there near Willow, that's an area of great concern, I would say right now. The next scan, we may not be as concerned about it. The very transient nature of these storms and their ability to rotate and then their lack of ability to rotate is kind of alarming tonight. But that goes with the territory. But that is definitely the biggest wind field, and there is some wind coming away from the radar side. A lot of wind, though, coming toward the radar side. James, is there very much lightning with these?
Just had that pulled up. There is not a ton of lightning with this, except the one part of the storm that does have lightning is the storm that's in Dallas County. The stuff closer to the metro area does not. Dallas County and then